Okay, quick update on the body of this Stratocaster. I've lost count of the number of clear coats that I put on this, and the reason is because StuMax says to put about 3 to 4 cans of clear coat, clear nitro on the body. That's their recommendation of how many cans you'll need for the body. And I noticed that I was like 1.5 cans in, and I thought I had done maybe 6 or 7 coats. And then I slowly realized that a coat is really like 3 passes of the spray can. So then I started doing, like at one time I would do the entire body 3 times, with the spray can. So that counts as a coat, but in the midst of all that, I kind of lost count of how many coats I've actually put on there. But essentially right now I'm almost through 2 cans. So I'll probably finish off those cans. I'm kind of hesitant to do like the last bit of the can because it's probably gonna sputter and spray. I'll do what I can with that and then maybe do a few more coats. But the way it is now, it looks pretty horrible. But what I did is took 600 grit sandpaper just to kind of level it a little bit, so that when the next couple of clear coats will go on fairly smooth, hopefully, and then I'm going to let it dry about 2 weeks before I do any kind of like wet sanding. And I'm probably just going to do 800 grit. I'm a total noob at this, so I don't really know. I'm just going by the research that I've done online and the Stuart McDonald literature and their stuff online as far as recommendations. So that's what I plan to do. Again, 600 right now. I'm going to go back and wipe all this off because I literally just sanded it. And again, I'll reiterate that it's pretty hard to sand around the tape. So if you're planning on doing something like this, just know that that might be an issue. It's not super difficult. And again, I'm curious as to how the edges will be in the tape when I actually pull it off. But you'll notice that I kind of stayed away from the edges of the body because I hear that those are really sensitive areas as far as you can go through the clear into the color, perhaps even to the wood. So I kind of stayed away from that for the time being. When everything cures, I'll do it lightly by hand, I think. But yeah, so I'm going to wipe all this crap off, and tomorrow or the next few days I'll put some more final coats of the sealer, the clear coat on there, and then we'll let it sit and we'll wait patiently for it to cure. And then again, I'll do, I think, 800 grit sandpaper wet, and then polishing I'm not sure about because I don't want it to be a glass finish. I want it to be sort of satin, and because it's going to look old, or it's supposed to look old. Okay, so stay tuned. Thanks. Okay, I've been waiting about 2 weeks to do this. I'm going to take the tape off, and I thought I'd turn the camera on and let you see how it goes. So yeah, I'm going to do that. And I just painted it maybe like an hour ago, but it's just so hot and dry here that I sprayed it the last couple of coats, and like seconds later it was dry to the touch, and these were like pretty wet. So I don't know if the can that I had, the last can, well, I have another can, but the can that I used for the last couple coats, I don't know if that wasn't mixed really well or something. But anyway, I can practically, and this will be where the pick guard goes, but I don't have a fingernail on this hand, but I could press down on it with a fingernail and there's not really any mark. Well, there's a little mark, but it's not soft at all. So anyway, I say all that to say I'm going to try to take some of the tape off and just see how it looks. So here we go. I'll try to find maybe an inconspicuous spot first, so that if it totally sucks and destroys everything, it won't really matter too much. Let's try this big patch down here. Might not be the best one, but let's try it. Alright, so it's coming off pretty decently. There's a little bit of bleed in from the tape, which is not that big of a deal because I'm probably going to sand those edges if I can anyway. And let me finish taking this off so we can get a better idea. Trying not to screw anything up here or dig down deep into the wood, but I just have to get sort of an edge going so I can pull it off. Yeah, so there's that spot. It did not go off without a hitch. I could tell like some of the edges of the paint were trying to stick to the tape and pull off the color and all the layers. So I'm gonna have to be really careful and maybe try to even cut back around the edges of the tape with the razor blade to make sure that I don't start pulling off adjacent layers. So if I get another interesting spot, I'll turn the camera back on and see. I'll let you in on anything that goes really well or really wrong. I did just want to point out maybe the obvious. The reason I'm taking this off now and not before or not after I leave it to sit for 2 weeks before wet sanding is that this tape is really only supposed to be on for about 2 weeks or 14 days as it is, as the label reads on the 3M blue tape. So that's why I'm taking it off now. Tomorrow will be 2 weeks since it's been on there. So I just want to get it off before it sits too long and leaves residue, or I don't know what could happen, but I just want to be preemptive and go ahead and take it off. So that's why I'm doing that now. I'm getting a little more used to it now, how I need to take it off and kind of where the edges are. The bad thing about it, the wood underneath is it's unprotected. I am going to go back with some True Oil or so whatever that stuff is from Stuart McDonald that I got, and go in and put that over the wood to kind of seal it up to make sure it's not damaged by weather and whatnot. The tape is coming off fairly easily as long as you kind of pull back from it, not up, you know, try to like rip it straight off the body. As long as you can pull it at an angle, it's not so bad. There have been a few places where there's like a little bit of blue left on the edge where the paint meets the body. So I'm gonna have to try to, you know, just touch that up as best I can. And I'm losing feeling in my knees right now. So I'm gonna try to keep going as best I can and then take a break. So here's the front of the guitar. And one thing I wanted to point out, when I started taping off, it was kind of guesswork in the beginning. And so I started on the front on this corner right here, and I don't know if you can see it, but probably not from the lighting, but I started taping like right around here, and then I got to looking at it and thought I wanted this more to just progress more towards like the pickup area. I wanted more relic, I guess, is heavier relic. And so anyway, so I started with a pencil line, and I kind of like drew out what I wanted, I think. I can't remember right now how I did it, but anyway, so there's a pencil line, and when I taped over that, I just kept going, and I didn't really erase it. So there's a faint pencil line in the wood now, and where I did that, and I tried to kind of erase it, but it's not exactly going away. Hopefully when I put the oil in there, it'll mask it even further. But I mean, you can't really see it unless you look for it, I guess, in a certain lighting. So I don't really know any other way to get rid of it besides sanding it off, but if I do that, I'll lose the color. So it's just a word of warning. If you happen to do something like this, the pencil mark may not come off the wood. So in further updates, I guess I feel like I've become better at getting the tape off. What I've noticed on little spots like this is if I can just get my razor blade. Actually, I started like cutting around because the tape, you know, it sits up higher than the clear coat and the paint. So I kind of like put my razor blade at the edge and kind of cut out where the tape was, and then just kind of like jab the razor blade underneath a little bit and almost like pop up a little piece of the tape, and then I'm able to kind of like get underneath it and then like peel it away. Maybe I can get an angle or getting close enough for you to see it, and if I do, I'll show you that. So I'm zoomed in about as close as I can get to this spot right here, which I think will be a good example of what I'm talking about. And if my hand doesn't get in the way, maybe you can see what I'm doing, but I don't know if you can see the tape there in the camera, but what I'm going to do is just kind of cut right where the tape is, the edge of the tape, kind of get an edge going there, and then get underneath it. See that popping up right there, and then pops up like so, and then I'm able to peel it back. So that may seem kind of simple and stupid, but for me, you know, if someone would have showed me or given me any kind of pointers, I would have found it really helpful. And I'm just going at this a lot on my own, and I've watched a lot of YouTube videos to get ideas, but nothing's really detailed or explanatory out there that I found. So maybe this will help you. I hope that it does. That's my intent in trying to document this whole process. So I'll try to keep you up to date again, any developments, anything I learn. And thanks again for watching.